Hey guys, it's been a while since I've done a Fix It Scotty service video on site. This is one I did this past weekend for a family that I've worked for before. They have, they're living on the edge financially and have a few members have some serious health problems, so they can't afford, regular service on their house. So this call was for they couldn't get their pilot relit on their boiler. I've done a video on this boiler before where I redid the gas valve. Since then, I've also done a new control board and replaced the vent controls on this boiler. So I've replaced everything except for the circulator motor and the boiler itself. So this one I went to, they just couldn't get the pilot lit. And I just thought, it would just probably be a thermocouple. It turned out it was not a thermocouple. I didn't have to replace any parts. It was just really, really, really dirty. So here is what I did to get the pilot lit. Check it out. Despite being here before, my initial reaction was, wow, this is gross. There's so many cobwebs in that basement I've never seen before, maybe because it was so damp over the summer, but I just kept feeling like I was in an Indiana Jones movie where they're going through that cave. The other problem they have in this basement is not only just the spiders, it's hard to see on this camera here, but there was just cobwebs and spiders just everywhere. But they also have a sewer leak. One of their main drain lines has a break in it, and it would cost about, I think they got a quote for $10,000 to repair, and they just can't do it, so they just have to kind of live with it. So this cellar is just disgusting, and that makes it a little bit more difficult to work on. But once I was able to clear myself, clear away some of the cobwebs and get to see what I was doing, brushing off everything, I finally got to the point where I could test out and see the problem with the pilot, and the pilot was not coming on, or it wasn't staying on. So I knew there's some kind of thermocouple problem. So what I did was I really needed a socket wrench, and I didn't have it in my little toolkit, so I rigged up a socket on the end of my ratcheting screwdriver. And what I'm attempting to do here is there's 4 large sheet metal screws with probably a 3/8 or ½ inch screw head on it that I had to pull out using my little makeshift ratchet here. And so what I'm doing is taking those 4 screws out of the frame, and I'm going to drop that gas rail down so I can get to the burners. So I dropped the gas rail, giving me, I don't know how these burners come out. They're latched on the end at some, oh, here we go. So we'll go ahead and clean these all out. The thermocouple is now working because there was so much dirt and dust in there. I just simply needed to clean it off. I got a new thermocouple, this new Honeywell thermocouple, to replace it, but might as well not replace an older thermocouple with a newer one, because the newer ones just aren't made as well. So I'll wait for that actually to go out. I'm going to go ahead and clean these up, put it all back together, and we should be firing and ready to go. When you forget your air compressor, a little soft rubber tube works. Make your own biological air compressor. The middle rail has the pilot assembly. It's difficult to take out, so I'm just simply getting my tube up in there and blowing off the pilot light assembly and cleaning that off. Once I got the burners all blown out and cleaned up as best as I could, I'm now just reinstalling the gas rail there. Just again, just lifting it up and putting the 4 screws, 2 on each side, back in place and ratcheting them back down. Well, now I turn my service light off so I can watch the pilot burn. Here I've lit the pilot and I'm holding in the pilot on the gas valve. Once I let it go and the pilot stays on, I know that the thermocouple is still okay. And at this point, the pilot is staying on, so the thermocouple is still okay. Now that the pilot's staying on, I turn the gas valve to the on position, which should fire the burner. There was a little bit of a flame rollout, but it was because of cobwebs that were still inside of those burners. So everything's settled in and it's burning pretty well. So after verifying the hot water is starting to circulate and everything looks good, I packed up my tools and called it a day. So that's it for this repair. It's hopefully good for another year. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. But thanks for watching.
It's going.